Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to the channel. Alright guys, so this video here is of Bay Area transparency. Now guys, I know there may be 2 or 3 people that I notice that comment a lot on my videos, and I know they like them because I've made a video maybe a week or 2 ago of them, and they kind of told me, hey, you're mistaken him, he is a good guy, he's an auditor, and so on. Now hear me out guys, I'm not doing this if these frauditors, because I'm not going to call them an auditor guys, let me say that from the get-go. They have no kind of background, they have no education in what they're doing, they have nothing. They just woke up one day and gave themselves that title. So I'm not going to go along with their game and call them an auditor. They are a frauditor. Okay, if for some reason I feel that they're doing something good, there's 1 or 2 out there that I like, that I think they're out there doing something for us. I call them an activist. Okay, but auditor, no, not in my book, not in my eyes. Okay, so I know there are 2 or 3 people here that comment, maybe even more, that comment a lot on my videos, and thank you for that. That gives me an idea I get an idea of how you guys are thinking, and you know, I know who to go after. Okay, now mind you guys, listen to me, I'll say this again, just because a frauditor ends up on my channel does not mean I don't like them. I don't like the shit they do. They're out there saying, guys, they're out there promoting themselves, that they're out there fighting for our rights. Okay, let's look at the big picture. They're on YouTube with a YouTube channel saying that they're out there fighting for people's rights. Okay, Silence Boy, that's what he has. I forget the way he worded it or whatever, protecting people's rights or some shit like that. We all know he's a piece of shit. He's a liar. Okay, how do you protect people's rights? By going after the people that you say you're protecting their rights, recording them while they're trying to enjoy a meal, and making females and seniors feel uncomfortable, just so he can make a video that's going to get views, so he can make a few dollars. Okay, so that bull crap that he puts on his channel, all of these frauditors, that they put this shit on their about channel, in that section of their channel, the about section, you guys know what I'm talking about. We're fighting for people's rights and for freedom and so on. But here they are attacking the people. Guys, us, we've become fair game. I've said it in other videos. It's not about the cops anymore. It's about us. Now, Bay Area transparency, listen to me, okay? Watch this video. I found a bunch of shit. A bunch of things that I feel he did. Pretty much he's doing it for the views. Okay? Maybe there are other videos out there that he's doing good. I'm talking about this particular video that we're going to watch. I found a bunch of things that are questionable. So guys, if you can tell me, hey Steven, you're misunderstanding it, it's not that way, I will correct myself. Trust me, I'm not trying to pick on these guys. I'll say it again, I'm self-employed. I know what it's like to try to go out there and make money, depending on the public to make, give you that money. Okay, so I'm not trying to stand in their way. But if they're out there and they got a YouTube channel saying that they're out there fighting for our rights, but in reality they're screwing us just to get views, then I'm going to call them out. I'm going to call their bullshit. I'm going to call what they're doing bullshit. Okay, guys, and I would hope you guys do the same. Let's check out this video with Bay Area, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to point out a bunch of shit that I saw that I thought was wrong, and if you can correct me, I won't screw with them no more. But until then, to me, he's semi-frauditor. Kind of more than semi, 3/4, okay? Let's check out the video and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, guys.
What's going on, Bay fam? It's the kid, Bay Area Transparency, back at it with another banger. Man, this video is crazy and it raises a lot of concerns for the citizens down in Cries, California, who've been asking me to come down there for some time. We hear it all the time. These police out here are crazy. They don't care about your rights. They're too aggressive and so on. This ties directly into my next question. Have you ever felt powerless? Has somebody ever done something to you or taken something from you and there was nothing you can do about it at that point? This is probably one of my my worst interactions with police officers, and you guys know I've had many. However, this one here takes the cake.
All right, let me start off with this one here. As you heard him state that a few of his subscribers have made comments about the particular police officers of that police department in that particular city, Ceres, California. They are corrupt, or they are hardcore, and some other comments that he made of the police officers of that department. Now, mind you, my opinion, he should be going to these departments with an open mind. The way he's talking, it's like he's already made it up in his mind that these cops are guilty. Okay? Now, as we all know, and I hate to say it this way, but I honestly believe the subscribers of these frauditors are partially to blame for the way these frauditors are. Okay? We all know a lot of these frauditors are doing what they're doing to keep their subscribers happy. Okay? As well as to attract new ones. Subscribers, as we know, they want to see the drama. They don't want to see a good audit. They want to see drama. They want to see police called and the frauditor go into a back and forth conversation with the police and, and so on. Okay, so in my opinion, again, I say the subscribers are partially to blame. So, again, with getting tips, okay, that subscribers are saying that these officers of that department are corrupt or whatever, okay, he shouldn't right off the bat make the assumptions that they are guilty. He should be going to these places with an open mind. If you go to these locations with the intentions that they are already guilty, then you're going to treat them as if they're guilty already. Okay, so that's just one thing. It's not a big deal, but it is still, it's an important factor. If he's going over there to see how these officers treat him, then, a lot has to do with his way of thinking. And you'll see what I mean as we go down the road here, guys.
Now, this may seem like a small thing to some folks, particularly those who have never been put in this position, but this right here is why some citizens are saying they earn the hate. Examples like this are exposed repeatedly nowadays, and it shamefully outshines the actions of good cops. We the people need to bring about change, but how do we bridge the gap? That question remains unanswered at this point. All right, Bay fam, let's go ahead and get to this video. I'm not going to hold you up anymore. Be sure to go follow us on Instagram, and we got a Facebook page coming soon, working on all kinds of things. I love y'all. Bay Area Transparency, and I'm out.
So they got a no trespassing sign up, City of Ceres, here in the front, in their front gate, but that doesn't mean we can't take pictures.
Alright, so let me comment on this now. So as normal, frauditors, for some reason, they always target the parking lot of the police department so that they can record the police vehicles, which is not a bad thing. I like doing that. I don't see a problem with that, I should say. But they like to record inside of the vehicle to see if the officer left the laptop open. And God forbid the officer was in a rush and he ran out of the vehicle and he left the laptop open. They will purposely record what's on the screen. Purposely. Now, fortunate for this police department, their parking lot appears to be fenced in, gated up, with no trespassing signs. Okay? And what does he state? Oh, no trespassing signs, but that doesn't mean I can't record there from outside of the gate. Now, come on, one way or the other, he's looking to be suspicious, okay? He's looking to spark the suspicion in a police officer. What better way to do it? Because any normal person that would walk up to a fenced-in area and see, okay, no trespassing signs, what other reason am I going to just hang around there if I can't go inside the parking lot? Let me move it on. But no, not with him. He'll start recording from outside. He'll start climbing up on top there to record over the concrete barrier or whatever you want to call it. So his intentions is, my opinion, to cause suspicion. Well, this is his way of testing the cops, I guess. But let's keep going, guys. I think some of you guys are going to say, that's not a big deal. I know it's baiting, but the cops bait us too. So yeah, I'm not going to win the fight on that one here.
Alright, here we go, Bay fam. We're kind of in the back of the police department for the city of Ceres. And we're just checking everything out. See a vehicle, no front license plate right there. Got a police bike. Ceres Police Department right there. Pretty big police department, if you ask me, for such a little area, a little city. Seems like there's a lot of money spent on, the police department that probably doesn't need a little bit of excess of funds here. Alright, we just had some lady see me in a little SUV, some chick. I'm gonna walk over to the other side, take some pictures, kind of see what she says. That's her SUV right there.
Hey, what are you doing?
All right, so let me also comment on the captions here, guys, which is a very slick move, in my opinion. He's adding a caption to certain parts of his videos, and instead of letting the subscriber think for themselves, he is pretty much doing the thinking for the subscriber, and pretty much he's putting there what he wants the subscriber to think. That's my opinion, okay? He's thinking for them, let's say. And look how he wrote here, look how aggressive the lady cop comes at me. And all she did was ask him, hey, what are you doing over there? Think about it. The guy is on top of looking over the concrete wall. That's not something a normal person would be doing, guys. Recording, okay? The recording part is not the problem. It's standing above the concrete wall recording. So, hey, what are you doing? And that's aggressive, guys? Really? Really?
What was that?
What are you doing?
Nothing. What are you
Okay,
doing?
don't take pictures of our vehicles.
What do you mean?
Where's your idea?
What?
Where's your idea?
Why?
Because I said so.
Because you said so.
Yeah, because I said so. You're taking pictures of all... Yes. Where's your idea?
Where's your ID?
Where is your ID?
Where's your ID?
And 91, he's being uncooperative, not giving me his ID.
You're funny.
I don't think it's funny.
Okay. Well, I think you're funny.
Where's your idea?
Where's your ID? That's your ID?
Yeah, it's my ID. Officer Ruiz. Yeah.
Cool. What's your
Where's your
badge
idea?
number? Where's your idea?
Do you see it?
I see a name tag. I don't see an ID. I want to see your address.
Why? Is that where you're getting our information from?
You want to see
So
mine?
you can see it. Yeah, because you're taking pictures of government property right now. You're taking pictures of personal vehicles.
I didn't know that I couldn't do that.
You can't do that. How's that? Well, you're doing it right here, and then you're going on 2nd Street and taking pictures of vehicles that are leaving this area.
Where's 2nd Street?
Where you were just at, over there.
Well,
where's your ID at?
I don't know what to tell you.
All right, I'm gonna pat you down for weapons.
No,
Do
you're
me a favor.
not.
Yes,
No,
I am.
you're not. You
Yes, I
can't
am.
touch me. You can't. I'm recording
I'm
this.
recording too.
Nope, you can't touch me. Nope, I'm not putting my phone down. I'm allowed to record this.
Okay, well, I'll grab it from
You
your
can't.
pocket. I don't care if you're recording, dude.
Just grab me and pat me down. What's your name? Name is. Fuck you. You don't get to pat me down.
And we're not gonna play.
What is this is public property. That's public property. What's your name?
Public property. Is there a
That's
gate?
public property. It doesn't matter. Can I see through the gate, you ignorant bitch? Learn the laws. It's people versus Garcia. You can't just grab people and pat me down. What's your name and badge number?
Excuse me.
Fuck you, excuse me. Hey, what's your name and badge?
All right, so let's comment on this, guys. You being a police officer and you see somebody standing above the concrete wall so that they can record. That pretty much is, I don't know, that itself is suspicious. That's not something a normal person is going to do. And yes, I do understand that suspicious is not a crime, and you got to kind of tread lightly, let's say. But you got to put yourself in the officer's shoes to get a better understanding of this, okay? You're an officer, and you're going to your police station or whatsoever, and you notice somebody standing above the concrete wall recording the police vehicles, right? So, again, I hate to say this, but with all the shit that's happened in the past, you got to admit, police departments are, you can say they are a target. Now, I don't know. To me, that's a little peculiar, people taking recordings of the police vehicles in that fashion. It's not like you happen to see a police vehicle while you was out hanging out and you saw a police car parked and you wanted to go, take a picture or record a little bit, a clip of it or whatever. No, you are actually going to the police department where the police vehicles are parked, as well as the police officers' private vehicles. So you got to understand them being a little more uptight about the whole situation. Am I correct? Now, mind you, okay, you heard the lady officer, she was asking him questions, trying to see what was up, right? And what came out of his mouth, guys? Come on. Every time she asked him a question, what's your name and address? And you got to give it to the lady. Here's my name tag as well as my badge. That's my identification. But you heard him. He wants to get cocky. He wants to see ID with address. Now, you got to put a couple of things together. You being an officer and you're getting somebody that you just caught looking over the concrete wall and you're asking them questions and they're being uncooperative as well as being cocky with you. Come on, guys. You don't think you would have did the same thing? Hold on, I don't know who this guy. He could have a gun on him. A pat down to me is not a big deal. You got to pretty much cut. I don't care. Me being an officer, I'd be covering. Then maybe I don't belong. I'd be fired a long time ago. But I would be, if I come across a situation like that, I want to make sure that person ain't armed, and I ain't got to worry about them pulling out on me and taking a shot at me. Okay, so maybe some of you guys will see that as illegally being patted down, and he could have averted that. He could have squashed that if he would have spoke to the lady. Hey, my name is such and such. I'm taking pictures. It's legal. You can't do nothing about it, and so on, and keep it moving. But you start playing those head games about what's your ID? Let me see your ID. Come on. You got to understand. You guys seem to forget the people that knock these police officers, that they think they're violating people's rights. You seem to forget that they are human too. They are human too. So that's why I say I like to put myself in their shoes to see if it's justifiable or not. I think I would have did the same thing. He wanted the suspicion. He did everything to act suspicious. so that he can get confronted by police. And then when confronted with police, you heard him, acted like a total jackass. So he got what he got what he had coming to him. That's my opinion.
Number, I need it for documentation. You have to give it to me. Name and badge number. Name and badge number. You guys can't just grab people and pat them down, you idiot. What's wrong with you? This is the Cries PD just rolling up on people. Oh fuck, this lady said she just seen me, but that Cries PD, ladies and gentlemen, just grabbing me and patting me down, said I had no weapons, and then rolled off. Let me go, ripped my phone out of my hand, twisted the hell out of my shoulders. Hey, ugly bitch, what's your name and badge number? So this is Cries PD in Cries, California. They do not know the laws. I need your name and badge number too for documentation. Cries PD, it was that fast. Right up on you. What's your name? Boom. Didn't want to give it to you. We're going to pat you down for weapons. You can't pat people down unless you have reasonable suspicion they have a weapon, you idiot. Learn the law. And they just didn't give a fuck. Then they rolled off. That's crazy. See, that's the reason why we do this, Bay fam. That's the exact reason why I come out and do this. Because that's what they do. They make you feel powerless, like you have absolutely no power, and they're just allowed to grab you and do whatever they want with you. They can grab you, and if anybody has ever had that happen to them.
All right, so here he is, pissed off. Whether he has the right to be pissed off, that's on you guys if you decide he has the right or not. My opinion, he should have communicated with the officer properly. This shit would have never happened. Now, mind you, suspicion is not illegal. Suspicion is not a crime. But guys, suspicion still opens the door to being questioned. That's whether you want to admit to it or not. Suspicious activity is going to have somebody asking you questions. So instead of communicating with the officer properly, again, all he had to say is that, hey, it's my First Amendment right to do so. He is educated. He's supposedly top dog when it comes to police activity and all that. He prides himself on that. So all he had to say is my First Amendment right to do so. It's legal, and you can't really do nothing about it. She would have had to put her tail between her leg and walk away. But you heard him. You heard the cocky comments. Hey, she maybe a little bit of what she did. Maybe it had a little bit to do with like, oh, you want to be an asshole? I can be a bigger asshole than you, and she has the law working on her side or whatever. Hey, the pat down, my opinion, I don't know. I honestly don't think she did anything wrong. If you guys feel that was wrong, that's on you. But me being an officer, I probably would have did the same thing. You know what I mean? But again, he could have averted all this by just communicating. Communication means a lot, guys. And he already, from the beginning of the video, he already had these officers pegged as guilty. So he's treating them as if they're guilty, not giving them the benefit of the doubt. That's my opinion. But let's keep going.
That's the worst feeling in the world, to feel powerless, and you're not committing a crime. There's nothing you're doing wrong besides taking pictures, right? And because I said, hey, let me see your ID, I'm taking pictures, it is what it is, they're gonna grab me, pat me down, and then just drive off. That's a gang assault. Twisting on my shoulders hella hard, rip my phone out of my hand, and the police have no right to see if you have weapons to pat you down anymore. There's a case called People versus Garcia. They have to have reasonable suspicion that you have a weapon before they can pat you down. And they didn't. They had no reasonable suspicion they had a weapon. She clearly said, you're taking pictures, and so that's the reason I'm here. That was it. So that's the bottom line. So now we're posting everything I possibly can. Every single thing I can possibly get. That's how forceful the police are out here in Ceres, Bay fam. And that's why I do what I do. But you see sometimes how fast it goes. If it would have went longer and they would have really been pushing the issue instead of just grabbing me and then leaving that fast, you know, I would have got my lawyer on the phone with my legal services. I have that emergency call app, and that would have been a perfect opportunity if I didn't know my rights. But it doesn't always matter. I mean, you can get yourself out of some situations for sure with a lawyer on the phone, but it doesn't always matter. These cops just walk up, and look, there is no bulge in any of my pockets. I still don't have any weapons. There's keys in my pockets. That's it. That's not a bulge. And they have to have, and seeing something in your pocket is not a reasonable suspicion. It's obvious there's nothing in my pocket the size of a gun or anything like that, so they can't just roll up on you, snatch you up, pat you down, and then say bye. That's it. And I lost my cool there, ladies and gentlemen, and I apologize. I lost my cool. So we're gonna keep doing it. Keep it up. There's the corporal that allowed it to happen. You know, People versus Garcia? People versus Garcia. You understand I'm gonna sue you idiots, right? You just used force and intimidation to stop me from taking pictures. You guys are fucked. What a piece of trash cop, man. That's why I do this. That's why I do this, because pieces of trash like him and that stupid chick who thought she had everything in the world to prove. That's the problem. You see how she rolled up all crazy, like she had all kinds of shit to prove? She had to be tough, and what are you doing? Give me your ID. Bitch, I don't have to give you my ID. And because she knew I didn't have to give my ID, then they're gonna use threat and intimidation to pat me down. I'm not gonna lie, Bay fam, my heart is pounding right now.
All right, so I gotta say he's lying right there. That police officer was not disrespectful at all. You guys, if you need to go back, rewind. That officer, hey, what are you doing? And maybe she did start to get a little tensed up as he kept getting cocky about, let me see your ID, what's your address and all that. Yeah, after a couple of times asking him for, you know, let me see some ID, and he's coming off with these cocky remarks or whatever, anybody's gonna get a little, you know, tensed. And then if you guys want to use that, oh well, they got to be held to higher standards or whatsoever because they're public servants. Well, the same thing applies to him too. Okay, I noticed this guy's videos. His videos are getting over 400,000 views. That's a lot, guys. That's almost 500,000 people watching his videos and believing everything that comes out of his mouth. So he's got to be held to high standards too. It can't be always the cops or hold cops to higher standards, and these guys who are going back on YouTube and telling people about, you know, their actions or whatever, they got to act professional too, guys. Come on, let's be real here, because I know some of you that do like these frauditors. No matter what I point out, I can point out them killing somebody, and you guys would still say he's innocent. It's just the way it is. For some reason, frauditors can get away with doing all kind of shit, and they still come out smelling like a rose. Don't know why, don't know how, but that's the way it's. I don't know. That's the way it is now, you know. And it's unfortunate that I'm hearing his lies. She did not act disrespectful at all, and he's instilling that in his subscribers' minds.
My shoulder freaking hurts because they're twisting on you. All that stuff. I mean, it's not okay for them to do that. That's the whole reason we do this. They clearly knew I was taking pictures. They said I took pictures of somebody who was leaving earlier, right? You know that we're allowed to take pictures. That doesn't give you the right to just jam me up and pat me down like that. Now I'm going to be here for a long time. I'm not going to lie, Bay fam, I am pissed off about this one. They didn't even try to talk to me. They didn't even try to understand what.
They did not try to talk to him. Are you kidding me? What do you think that lady was doing, guys? That's not considered trying to communicate with him? Come on now, tell me this guy's not full of shit. Tell me he is not full of shit. They did not try to communicate with him. Jesus.
Whether or not we're allowed to do this, they weren't trying to hear anything. I wasn't trying to tell them either. Because sometimes you see it with the way the cop really acts. If you don't say anything, you just say, well, whatever, I don't know what to tell you, where's your ID? You don't have to speak to them. That's the whole point. You can be what they call uncooperative. That's not uncooperative. Being uncooperative is running away or something like that. You know what I mean? That's uncooperative. Me standing there and exercising my rights is not uncooperative. That's the bottom line. I don't have to cooperate with what you're trying to do. Telling me you're gonna ID me? You weren't gonna ID nothing. They need to put that little ugly dog back in her fucking cage, I'll tell you that much. See, that's the serious PD, Bay fam. That's how they do it. They snatched me up right away. My wrists are all messed up. My shoulders messed up. And they just snatched me up right away. Were ripping on me, pulling on me, grabbing on me, patted me down. Because with no reasonable suspicion that I had a weapon, what's your reasonable suspicion that I have a weapon? And sometimes there's nothing you can do because they're just gonna do it. And if you sit there and rip away from them, they're gonna try to charge you with resisting, right? That's their little tactic. And so I didn't resist. I just held my phone as hard as I could until they finally ripped it out of my hand and threw it in my pocket, and of course turned it off, right? That's exactly what they wanted. So People versus Garcia says that police officers, back in the day before People versus Garcia, they used to be able to pat you down if they encountered you to make sure you didn't have a weapon for their safety. But People versus Garcia said, no, they actually need reasonable suspicion that you have a weapon in order to pat you down. Where's your reasonable suspicion? You clearly got a call that I was out here videotaping. You got a call that I was out here taking pictures. You pulled up and said I was out here taking pictures, and yet you still assaulted me. You put your hands on me. You actually battered me because you didn't push or shove me. You twisted me and pulled me and grabbed me. That's battery. Searched me and then left like a bunch of fucking piece of shit gang members like they are, excuse my language. So that was not okay. I was trying to open up a dialogue for them and let them know, hey, what's your reasonable suspicion I have weapons? They weren't trying.
Okay, you gotta call this guy bullshit right now. You gotta. Here he is stating that the police did not try to communicate with him, that they just went in there and roughed him up for the hell of it, roughed him up and walked away. They did not try to open up communication with him, that he tried to open up dialogue with them. That's what just came out of his mouth. You can't tell me anything different, okay? I'm going to play back that little section for those of you that might not want to rewind and may believe everything he is saying. Like I said, he's using those captions very well. That's my opinion. That's a very good tactic there. He is pretty much thinking for his subscribers, instilling in their heads what he wants them to think. But again, I'm not trying to stick up for the officers. I am telling you what I saw. Again, that lady cop approached him. Hey, what are you doing? Okay? Keep in mind that he is looking above the concrete wall, something that is very suspicious. Okay? And I've already said it. Suspicious is not a crime, but it opens the doorway to being questioned. No, you can't get around it. That's just the way it is. Okay? Whether it's legal or not, that's a whole different ballgame. But here he stated that she did not try to communicate with him, that he was trying to open up dialogue. So let me show you that clip again, which will show she did try to communicate with him. Maybe she started getting a little cocky with him because he was getting cocky with her. Okay? And but for him trying to open up dialogue, how, guys? How? By being a smart ass, talking about he wants to see her ID with address and all that crap? Let's watch that little clip again, guys, so you could tell me that I'm wrong.
What was that?
What are you doing?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Don't take pictures of our vehicles.
What do you mean?
Where's your ID at?
What?
Where's your ID at?
Why?
Because I said so.
Because you said so.
Yeah, because I said so. You're taking pictures of all. Yes. Where's your ID at?
Where's your ID?
Where is your ID?
Where's your ID?
And 91. He's being uncooperative. Not giving me his ID.
You're funny.
I don't think it's funny.
Okay. Well, I think you're funny.
Where's your ID at?
Where's your ID? That's your ID?
Yeah, it's my ID. Officer Ruiz. Yeah.
Cool. What's your
Where's
badge
your ID
number?
at?
Where's your ID at?
Do you see it?
I see a name tag. I don't see an ID. I want to see your address.
All right, so you saw the clip again. Did it not look like the officer was trying to communicate with him or not? She was asking him questions. Can I see your ID? After seeing ID, I'm sure there would have been more questions, and they would have, they could have went on a back and forth conversation from there on. But as you heard him, the way he's, with his little cocky comments, hey, they're not getting nowhere with this guy, and they're not going to get anywhere with this guy, and they did what they had to do. Okay? Now, mind you, again, to me it appeared like she tried to open up communication, but he was not trying to. Instead of saying what he was writing about, they're getting retaliatory because he was exercising his rights. Well, why didn't he say that in the get-go? Why didn't he tell that? Why didn't he relay that to the officer? I'm exercising my rights and so on. I've seen other videos where he has told the police after being confronted, I'm exercising my rights and you guys can't do nothing about it. And again, I say, she would have had to put her tail between her legs and walk away. But, the way he was coming off, hey, but did that look like he was trying to open up dialogue, guys? Did that look like he was trying to open up dialogue?
Trying to hear it, they were going to do what they were going to do, and then they left. That's it. That's how they get down here. That is bullshit. Sirius PD is garbage. And she was even trying to say that I couldn't record government property. Why are you recording our cars? You can't record government property. And I played dumb, of course. Well, I didn't know I can't do that. No, you can't. I'm going to pat you down. No, I can. And I know more about it than you think. Wait till this video goes up and you guys start sending emails and complaints and calling the mayor and all kind of shit. Watch when they see the Bay fams on them. Watch what happens.
All right, so let's take what he just said here. Now he's asking his subscribers to email them, call them, voice their concerns. How could anybody support what he just did there? First of all, we saw in the beginning of the video there, when he went to the location there, no trespassing signs. The average person would have saw those, okay, no trespassing signs. Yes, I know that means you can't go inside, but I'm just saying, if you can't go inside to the parking lot, what's the sense of standing there and hanging out there? You can't get in, so might as well keep it going. Go to the front, go inside or whatever. But according to him, the signs don't say that he can't record from outside. And it's exactly what he did. So now instead of staying right there in that area where he can see right through the fence, the gate there, whatever you want to call it, he chose to keep walking around looking for, I guess other areas where he could, get better angles and so on. But now you tell me, guys, you being the officer, there's you guys noticed they had a concrete wall, whatever you may want to call it. He went above that. So he can record. So now that's when the officer saw him and approached him. You can't tell me that officer did not try to communicate with him. You can't tell me that he tried to open up dialogue with them. Because if you tell me that, I'm going to call you a bullshit artist or two. Okay? Now he's pissed off because he's gotten roughed up a little bit, and now he wants his subscribers to call the police department and bitch at them for the officer doing her job. Call them, email them, they're going to email the mayor and all this, and maybe he'll get a handful or more of subscribers that will do that for him. Okay? And I will say they are wrong. Because if you look at this shit here, again, I'm going to say it, guys, his mouth is what got him into this. That's all I can see, guys. I'm being honest, guys, and I won't get offended if you guys tell me if I am wrong. If I'm seeing something wrong, let me know. I will correct myself. Let me know. And that's it for the video. No, matter of fact, I think there's still a little bit more left. There's one part that I want you guys to see that I think was a little disrespectful of him. The one lady that he caught in the SUV, she ain't no cop, okay? And her husband will confront him now and see how he came off. Before I say goodbye, I want you to see this little part here.
It's a pretty nice car right there. It's hanging out. How about you?
My wife?
Who's your wife?
I'm not telling you anything.
Well, I ain't telling you anything.
Are you, really?
Who's your wife?
The lady you're taking pictures of here, are you a pervert?
Who was the lady I was taking pictures of?
Are you a pervert?
Are you?
No, it's my wife. I'm concerned for her.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
You should find something to tell me.
So, I ain't telling you shit.
Whoa.
Alright, so I'm going to end the video here. And you got to say, come on, the husband here is just being concerned. Apparently, the lady in the beginning of the video, the lady in the white SUV that he was taking pictures of, apparently he feels that she was the one that called the cops, and she might have been the one that initiated the phone call. But anyway, this is a concerned husband. He's not a cop. Why couldn't he have just told them the truth? Hey, I was out here testing the cops and your wife just happened to, I just happened to catch her by accident or whatever the case. Unless he was intentionally looking to, and I think that's what he did too. Because she happened to be in the police yard or whatever. He's figuring she's a cop or whatever. I'm going to record her. But this is a husband, okay? He's not a cop. Why can't you communicate with him? You're supposedly fighting for his rights too, no? All do the people have to be subscribed to his channel for him to be fighting for their rights? You guys let me know what you think, and hey, that's what I think, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong.
How about that?
Okay, well, I got you on camera.
Who the hell are you? I got you on
I'm
camera.
gonna
Matter of
post you
fact, I got your fucking thing on camera too.
Man, we can play this all day. I don't want you taking pictures of my wife.
We can play this all day too.
Right?
Does your wife work here?
I'm not telling
Does she
you
work
that.
here?
I'm
If
not
she
telling
works
you.
here, she's a public servant. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and take pictures of her too.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
that's that. Yeah, bounce.